I do decide to sell my truck, this is the thing I'll miss the most. Taking it to the drive-in movie theater. We only do it like once a year, but it's a lot of fun.
I was lost in a city dream, and I was at home again beside the stream. Then you walked past me, and you saw me and smiled. I will never forget the first time when I saw you. I thought I lost my mind. Blue and faded, was blown away and left behind. I hope you'll always be around, even if I fail. You are like a summer breeze that I must inhale. Is it possible for us to feel this way forever? Loving you has never felt more right. Woke up lonely, and for you there is nothing in this world I wouldn't do. I would walk 1,000 miles just to see you. I hope you'll always be around, even if I fail. You are like a summer breeze that I must inhale. Is it possible for us to feel this way forever? Loving you has never felt more right.
Is it just eating rocks? Those rocks taste, buddy.
Trouble, stay away from my door.
They're excited to see you this morning.
Trouble, stay away from my door.
They're like, where's our food giver?
Trouble,
When will she give us food?
don't come around no more. Trouble, stay away from my door. Never stay away from my home. Never stay away from my home. Never go on back and leave my soul alone. Never stay away from my home. Never come around me no more.
Whoa, whoa.
Never come around me no more. Never go on back and walk on out the door. Never come around me no more. Said keep me free from your spell. Said keep me free from your spell. Said go on back Set and keep me free from your spell.
So the girls and I are cleaning the house, like a really, really, really good clean. We've already thrown out 3 bags of garbage and an entire box of stuff to send to the Goodwill. Part of it is just, this is something we need to do a couple of times a year because we collect so many things. I'm not really a big shopper, but people give me stuff all the time, which is wonderful. I love that people give me stuff, that they think of me and they know, well, Erin doesn't have a lot of money. Maybe she would make use of this. It's great that they do that. But it means that very quickly my house fills up with stuff and I need to have another clear out. So that's part of the reason that we're doing this. But I wouldn't normally do this time of year because this is a really busy time of year. I am this time, however, because something special is going to happen. I was contacted by a YouTube channel about doing a collaboration. The YouTube channel is called Exploring Alternatives. And they do shows, they do videos about people who live in unique alternative living arrangements. And they want to do a video with me about my house and about my life, which is very cool and very flattering. And also they have 2.5 million subscribers. So that means a lot of people will watch the video. On average, they get about 100,000 views on each video. And my biggest video that I've ever had is 56,000 views, and that was my tiny house tour. The next closest after that is probably like 9,000 views. So it's kind of intimidating to think about 100,000 people looking at a tour of my house. Cool. Excellent. Okay, as I was saying, so they contacted me a few months ago about doing this collaboration, and I said to them, I'm planning on doing some renovations this summer. Could we wait until August when my renovations are finished and my garden is in full bloom so I can put the best foot forward? And they said, yeah, absolutely, whenever you're ready. They sent me all the information that I needed to know in order to film. So I film it myself, and then they edit it in their style and they post it to their channel. So they sent me all the information that I need in order to film it, and they're just waiting for me. Now, it is mid-July. I haven't even started renovations on my house yet. This summer is speeding by at lightning pace. I have only just finished planting my garden like today. So I don't know when, and I still need to finish the bunny barn, and the girls and I are going on a little vacation next week. So by the time I get around to anything, it's going to be August. As much as I would like to put the best foot forward and film a fully renovated house, it's looking less and less likely at this point in time. But then there's also the fact that I'm not about perfect. My entire mission with my YouTube channel has always been about embracing the messy and showing the messy. And so if I'm looking at this collaboration as an opportunity to find my audience, then I need to be me. I need to be me. I need to be messy. I need to be incomplete and unfinished and all of those things. And then the other thing I'm thinking is that the most success I've ever had with my YouTube channel is tiny house content. If I'm going to be doing renovations on my tiny house, that's going to really appeal to the tiny house content people. So maybe I should be doing this collaboration before I do my renovations, so that when they come to my channel, they will find me posting more tiny house content, which is what I will be doing. Once I start doing renovations, I'm going to have more tiny house content. So I am gearing up to hopefully film the footage for this collaboration in the next couple of weeks. But I do want my house to be tidier. I don't need it to be perfect. I don't need it to be finished, but I do need it to be a little bit less chaotic, because for my own well-being. And it's a job that needs to be done anyways, especially if we're going to be renovating. To do the renovations, we're going to need to be pulling almost everything out of that house, because I want to paint the entire interior. I want to put in trim. I want to make things look a little bit more finished, which means taking everything out. So if we're taking things out, that's going to be a lot easier if we don't have as much crap. So right now, today begins the crap purging. I am imagining this will take multiple purges, which is funny. You wouldn't think that a house this big would have very much crap in it, but we've managed to squeeze a few things in there. We really have. So purge round 1 is coming along well. The thing that we have the most of, books and craft supplies. So that's where we started. So I cleared out a whole bunch of books off of these shelves, and I took all the craft supplies off this shelf, and we've put them in this shelf here. I don't like this shelf. I don't want to keep it in this shelf, but this is a starting place. I'm gonna keep my eyes out on the internet or in antique stores for something wooden that can hold all of our craft supplies. But this isn't even enough space. Like, there's 4 large drawers and 4 small drawers, and it's still not enough space to hold all of the girls' crafts. So there's that. Next thing on the list to sort out is inside the couch. There's storage in there. I want to organize that a little bit. And the girls' clothes. We need to go through all of the girls' clothes and find out what doesn't fit them anymore and get rid of it. And then the kitchen cupboards. I want to go through all the kitchen cupboards, because there's got to be a better way to organize all of my food and so on and so forth, so that it looks nicer and neater. And I've started making a list of things that I want to buy to improve storage, and then also like a hardware store list, like the measurements for the countertops that I need and the trim that I need and so on and so forth. So I guess I have kind of started renovations, because that is the number one thing to do renovations, is taking an inventory of what exactly I need in order to do the renovations. So that's exciting. We spent pretty much all day doing that. So now that we're all sweaty and gross, we'll hang out on the hammock and have a read before the girls go to their dad's house for a couple of days. The water's edge. 10 minutes since I'd felt the cold wind run through me, but all that might as well have happened in another lifetime. For now, there was nothing more on my mind than peace on earth, goodwill to men, and the unopened bag of marshmallows lying at Toby's side. A minute ago, what happened? How am I supposed to close your door if you don't go to bed? Come on, guys. Come on, guys. If I go in, will you go in? Hey, will you follow me right in through this door? We're going to be processing these guys tomorrow by the looks of things. They are 3 months old, which is what age we usually do them at. And that means that we have a finishing weight of anywhere from 5 pounds to 9 pounds, depending on male or female, and so on and so forth. This is the first year that we've free-ranged our meat chickens, and I have loved it. I have really loved watching them running around in the grass and catching bugs and just being chickens. Before, they've been indoors in a coop the whole time, and all they did was eat and sleep, and they didn't do anything chickeny. They just were like Frankenstein eating machines with no personality whatsoever. And when we processed them, they would be like, they would have no feathers on their chests because they just spent so much time lying down. So I have really enjoyed having them out in nature like this. And the thing that is interesting about having them out in nature like this is that we got a bit more attached to them. So it's going to be a little bit harder to process them tomorrow than it usually is, because the more attached you get to animals, the harder it is to process them. So I'm setting up to butcher the meat chickens. I'm thinking a little bit more about what I said last night about how it's a little bit harder. The more they seem to enjoy their lives, the harder it is for me to end their lives. Which makes me think about typically living conditions for animals that are destined to be meat are not fantastic living conditions. And I've always sort of believed that the reason for that is economic. Because, partially economic, because good living conditions are more expensive. And secondly, when they're concerned about biological security, like protecting their meat chickens from diseases, then they keep them in a sanitary environment, and that means it's just not natural. Nobody likes being in a sanitary environment. It doesn't feel good. So that is the real reason why meat chickens are usually kept in very unnatural living conditions. But it's also occurring to me that it's easier to dehumanize something when it lives in unnatural living conditions. It's easier to dehumanize my chickens when they just live in a room and all they do is eat and sleep. It's easier to think to myself, well, I am putting them out of their misery when they have miserable living conditions. Whereas when they have nice living conditions, it's a lot harder for me to end their lives. Is that a bad thing? I don't think it is. So here's my controversial opinion. I think it should be difficult to kill them. It should be difficult to kill them. It should be difficult, and I should place a high value on their lives and be wary of wasting their lives. So another animal that we raise here is rabbits. We raise rabbits for meat. And the common talk in the meat rabbit world is you don't name the rabbits that you're going to eat. And that's to make it easier on me. I don't name them because then it'll be easier for me to kill them. It doesn't make it easier for the rabbits. It doesn't make life better for the rabbits. It makes it easier for me to kill them. But I think it shouldn't be easy for me to kill them. It should be hard. I should have to think very carefully about it if that's what I'm doing. The way I think about this is they're giving me the ultimate gift. They're giving me their lives so that I can live, so that I can thrive. And that means that I have a responsibility to make sure that what life they do have is happy and healthy and beautiful, and I need to love them. I need to love the ones that I'm eating. If I don't love them, then this is just a one-way thing. You know, then I am just using them for their meat. I need to love them because they're giving me the ultimate sacrifice. How can't I love them? How can't I appreciate them above all other things? That's my responsibility. I think it's my responsibility to love them and to give them a beautiful life while they are alive. But everything that you eat was alive once. You can't live without, no one on earth can live without something dying. That's how it works. Something has to die for everything else to live. Even, trees, they live off of the nutrients in the soil that were put there by other living things that died. Every living thing lives off of other living things. And every living thing dies and becomes food for other living things. These chickens will eventually die, whether I kill them or not. These chickens will eventually die. They will get eaten by a hawk, they will get eaten by a coyote, they will get eaten by worms and bugs. Whatever happens, they will be food. That is how life works. And this person sort of said something along the lines of, you don't need to eat animals, you can eat plants. But my argument is, plants are living things too. Like, there have been all these studies that have come out recently that have found that trees communicate with each other, trees help each other, trees send nutrients through the ground to other trees. They nurture their own offspring. So who's to say that just because they don't communicate in a way that we can understand, that there's somehow a lesser living creature, that eating plants is less, that eating plants is somehow different than eating animals. My argument is, it's not that different. If we accept that every living thing matters, and if we accept that every living thing feeds off of previous living things, and if we accept that every living thing will eventually die and feed something else, then the only thing left for me to do is to make sure that the things that I consume, the living things that I consume, have had the best life they can possibly have. Therefore, it's my responsibility to make sure that my animals have a good life and that they're loved, even if that makes it harder for me to consume them. And it should be hard for me to consume them. I think that one of the most problematic things about the society that we live in right now is that it's too easy to eat meat. You just go to the grocery store and you buy a package of meat and you don't have to put any thought whatsoever into what animal it was, what that animal's life was like, what its death was like. You don't have to think about any of that. You just buy the meat and you take it home and you put it in the fridge, and then, maybe you even forget about it and it sits there until it rots, and you throw it in the garbage and you go to the grocery store and you buy more meat because it didn't cost you anything. Just a little bit of money is all that it cost you to get that meat. Whereas if you have to raise that meat yourself and harvest it yourself, it costs you something. If you loved it and you took its life, then it cost you something. So you're not going to waste it. You're not going to just throw it out because part of your heart is in it. So I don't know. I don't know if that is the right way to look at it or not, but that's the way that I look at it, and that's the way that makes sense to me, and that's the way that's consistent with my worldview. And I just thought that I would share that with you and see what you think. Well, we only had 2 chickens left to do and a storm rolled in, and that's it. So I guess those 2 chickens get to live until I get back from our road trip. So they've got another week on their lifespan. Tomorrow, the girls and I are going to Toronto. So this is another chance for me to try my hand at filming unschooling on the road video. I look forward to giving it a try. I'll see you next week. Take care, everybody. Have a good one.